Hi there, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It is the DOUG here, and we're here for NFL Week 4 picks, and of course the 5 college games we have to do every week. As many of you know in the update, I said I would have to do this. You guys get to look at my face now every week for the football games. Dave, Travis, Rosie, and Doc, they're going to be doing it on one of their channels. So please tune in to either Dave, Rosie, Dogs, or Travis's channel. I'm sure they'll comment on here with my picks for this week if they probably surprised on some of them. But last week, though, in college, Marshall beat Virginia Tech. Maryland beat Michigan State. My Fighting Irish lost to Ohio State at the end of the game. Penn State beat Iowa, and Kansas beat BYU. So for college last week, I'm 4-1 last week, and for the season, I'm 10-5. So not bad. I know Travis is leading. He's been undefeated, lucky bastard. In the NFL, Niners beat the Giants with ease. The Colts upsetted the Ravens, one of many upsets from this past weekend. Browns beat the Titans. Lions pretty much handled their business with the Falcons. Saints, even with the help from the refs, could not beat the Packers, mostly because Carl got hurt. Texans shocked the world and beat the Jags, who were playing bad. The Broncos were murdered by the Dolphins, 70-20. God, that was a fatality in that game. Chargers upsetted the Vikings. Patriots were able to beat the Jets. Of course, if you don't know, a lot of people are now asking for Zach Wilson's head on a silver platter. Even the greatest Jets quarterback of all time, and even Greeny is as well. So I think the Jets are just going to have to figure out just tank, because Zach Wilson's not the answer, and Rodgers won't be back till next year. Bills destroyed the Redskins with ease. Seahawks pretty much handled their business with the Panthers. My Cowboys got caught in a trap they couldn't walk out of as the Cardinals finally do something intelligent. They hold on to a fourth quarter lead and beat my Cowboys. I will say there was some questionable calls there, but I still tip my hat to the Cardinals. You finally were able to do what you couldn't do against Washington and the Giants, and that's hold on to that fourth quarter lead. Chiefs destroyed the Bears, proving the Bears might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Granted, Broncos may argue that. Steelers beat the Raiders after Jimmy Garoppolo got injured. Eagles handled the business with the Bucks, and the Bengals, with a hurt Joe Burrow, end up beating the Rams on Monday night. So I went 8-8, not bad, but not great split, and I am 29-19 for the season. I believe I am in second right now, because I believe Travis has first place in that. Of course, biggest news of this weekend, of course, was the Dolphins getting 70 points on the Broncos. Broncos don't look like a football team, and the other big news was the Cardinals beating Dallas. Well, it actually hurts Arizona in the sense, I know everyone's going to say it hurts Dallas. Not a game against Philly and all that, and I will say this, everybody usually has one bad loss on their schedule every year. So if this is all one bad, ugly loss, I'll take it, because at least it's early and not near the end of the season. But why it hurts the Cardinals, though, because you were favored to be the number one pick in the draft, and now you're not. It's actually a four-way race between the teams who have not won a game yet, which is the Denver Broncos, Chicago Bears, the Vikings, and the Panthers, which what's funny is those four teams face each other. Broncos take on the Bears this weekend, and the Vikings take on the Panthers. So we will see two teams get their first win this year, unless, God forbid, both those games end in a tie, which if they do, I think I might go sit in a corner and cry. But of course, before we get to the NFL, we got the college games we got to do this week. First one we got, which is on Friday night, is Utah against Oregon State. I'm going to take Utah on that one. Utah just a better team. The Saturday games we got, and I know Dave and Travis, if you're watching this, so you can if you don't remember, just shoot me a text. Michigan against Nebraska. I got Michigan. Nebraska just sucks. Ole Miss versus LSU. I'm going to take Ole Miss here in the upset a bit. I don't trust LSU. Texas against Kansas. This is going to be a big heavyweight fight. Give me Texas. And then the late game Saturday night we got stuck with Fresno State against Nevada. Fresno State should win this one with ease. Nevada's just a bad school. But this is a trap game for Fresno State as well. Keep that in mind. I will send the text probably out Saturday night or Sunday of what the 5 college games will be for next week. Moving on to the NFL. Of course, tomorrow night, Thursday night, we have the Lions and Packers. Lions looking like the team that a lot of people thought would be in contention for the Super Bowl, at least make the playoffs in their division. Packers, Jordan Love, showing some things. He could be better. They did get by the Saints last week, but it took some help with Derek Carr getting injured, and the refs stopped cheating you guys, because good Lord, I didn't get to watch the game. I watched it live. I watched the replay of it. And oh God, the refs are just missing shit again. Fuck the refs. Give me the Lions, though, guys. Sorry, Travis. I think the Lions' defense is way better than the Saints, and I think if the Lions' offense is clicking, they can be dangerous. I think Jordan Love is still young. I don't think he's ready to own the Lions yet. Come back to me later in the year and we'll see if I change. Of course, then on Sunday morning, we have the Falcons and Jags in London. That game's on ESPN+. I'm going to take the Falcons here in an upset. Yeah, the Jaguars are favored for some reason, even though, to be honest, excluding the first win, the Jags have kind of looked kind of disappointing in the sense of a team that should win the division easily with the Texans and Colts rebuilding and the Titans kind of a mess. They don't look that good either, so I'm kind of taking the Falcons here. They got a decent defense and the offense is kind of clicking. So Falcons in the upset. Browns and Ravens, all right, normally I would take Baltimore, but between last week losing to the Colts and an upset, Mom was shocked when she saw the injury report for the Ravens, how many people could be out this week. And as much as I don't like betting against my mom's Ravens, I'm going to take the Browns here to win because Browns, even with them losing their best player on offense, they're still doing well. Their defense is well. Their offense is kind of still there. Now, with that being said, I would like to remind everyone a few weeks ago when I picked the Ravens to lose against Cincinnati for the same reasons, Baltimore won. So keep that in mind, Ravens fans. This might be a good thing for you. Up next, Bills and Dolphins, which I'll be honest was a hard pick for me. Bills did destroy the Redskins, but Bills have that one loss in week 1 that was kind of flukish, I would say at this point, because the Jets have not done well since that week. Like I said in week 2, and I'm going to say it in week 3 and in this one, I feel like that was just Bills kind of outplayed themselves when Rodgers got hurt. Dolphins are 3-0. They're undefeated. One of the few undefeated teams left. As a matter of fact, I think the only undefeated team left in the AFC. And they did just score 70 points, but then I have to ask myself, is it because they're that good or were the Broncos that bad? Because the Bills' defense, for the most part, is pretty good. It's the offense of the Bills that you have to worry about because if Josh Allen plays like he did in week 1, Dolphins should win this game. I don't think it's going to be as much as a blowout for this, but I'm going to take Buffalo here. I think the Bills will just surprise Miami. I think Miami's on too much of a high that maybe they might get a shock to the system, kind of like how Dallas got last week. Up next, speaking of the Broncos and Bears. This was a tough one as well. Both teams suck, but I'm taking Denver here just because they know how to score points. They did score 20. I don't know if that was because Miami was taking pity on them. Chicago can't do anything. I know a lot of people saying it's Justin Fields' fault, but to me personally, I don't think he's the problem. I think it's the coaching. I think it's ownership. I think it's everything. Because they don't have a lot of key pieces for him. And at this point, I think he needs to change the scenery so he can actually see what he has. It's kind of, I'm going to say this. He's in a situation where we don't know if he's truly good or he's truly bad because of where he's at. You know, I know that some people say the same thing with Kyle Murray as well. Kyle Murray sucks. I'm sorry that I don't even think he's going to be playing because he's not back to week 5. Allegedly, we'll see. But I'm going to take the Broncos here. I will say this, though. If Denver loses this, I think the Russell Wilson here, they're going to realize that it was a bad idea to get him. And then Peyton, oh, God, that's even going to be worse. By the way, Michigan State just fired their head coach. No surprise there. That just broke. Up next, Steelers against the Texans. I got the Steelers. I think Texans kind of got lucky to win last week. Steelers, somehow, someway, they're going to find a way to get a winning record just so their head coach doesn't get his first losing season. Give me Pittsburgh. Up next, Vikings and Panthers. Okay, Vikings I took last week, and I was pissed. I was angry as hell with that, as Travis and Dave know. I was angry because I was nice to them. Panthers also suck, though. They're really not competitive in any of the games for the most part. Against my better judgment, I am taking Kirk Cousins and the Vikings to win. Now, this is the second time I picked you Vikings and Kirk Cousins. So if you let me down again, I hope to God you tank the rest of the way, because then I would be so celebrating. So I'm taking the Vikings, but don't you dare lose this, Minnesota. Don't you dare, as I will rain hellfire on you next week. You get a reprieve for now. Colts and Rams, I'm going to take the Colts, even with the backup playing this past week. They looked good. Rams kind of, I think with Cooper Rush still out, I think they're having problems offensively. They couldn't run the ball that great on Monday. So give me the Colts here, a surprising pick by me. Bucks and Saints, I'm taking Tampa Bay. You know they didn't play great against Philly, which it's Philadelphia. They are the the kings of the NFC for the most part. They're playing the Saints team who will most likely not have Carr in the game. And, that defense of the Saints is good. That offense has not been clicking at all this season so far. The offense has kind of been mediocre. I think Tampa Bay bounces back, gets a W. Go Baker Mayfield. I kind of like Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's bad. He's great, no, but he's good when he needs to be. I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Kirk Cousins. I'm sure all the Kirk Cousins fans are going to type, "Oh, how could you hate Kirk?" Fuck off. Eagles and Redskins. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Eagles. Redskins just got obliterated by the Bills. The Eagles have had a few hiccups in the wins this year so far. I just think the Eagles are better. Go Eagles. Bengals and Titans, even with Joe Burrow's injury, I'm going to take the Bengals here. Titans kind of look like a clusterfuck of the AFC. Not as bad as Denver, but pretty close. Chargers and Raiders, again, this is based on an injury mostly. I know Garoppolo's in concussion protocol. I don't know if he's going to be playing or not. So we shall see on that. But I'm taking the Chargers here. They get because if Jimmy Garoppolo's not playing, the Raiders might lose this game. And the Raiders didn't look that great against the Steelers either. So give me the Chargers here. Cowboys and Patriots. Taking the Cowboys here. I'm kind of hoping the game they lost this streak, the trap game, is a punch to the face. And realizing we can't overlook weak opponents. Technically, New England is the weaker team here because, Mac is not playing well. I'm sure they're going to be wanting to use Zeke a lot because he used to play for us. The Patriots' defense is not, excluding against last week against the Jets. Granted, the Jets suck. Was good. The offense was kind of not that good, though, either. I'm hoping it's a bounce-back week for Dallas because next week we play the 49ers, which is a big game for us because if we lose that one, we're just going to be known as pretenders again because until we can beat the two legit teams that we have to play, Philly and Niners, we cannot consider ourselves a Super Bowl team. Yes, I know most of the Cowboy fans think, oh, we are even with the hiccup. That hiccup did prove one thing. Maybe we overlooked Arizona. And I even said that in last week's video that I was afraid of that. We might have overlooked them because it is a trap game. So hopefully Dallas bounce back and wins this one. First for those Cardinals, they play the Niners. I'm taking the Niners here. Again, though, this is a trap game for San Francisco. They did get that long break because they played last Thursday, so they got plenty of rest. It is a division game. It is a trap game. Niners should win this one. But if the Niners lose this, then can we actually say the Cardinals are good in a sense? Because then you could make the argument that they could technically be 4-0 if they didn't choke those first two games in the fourth quarter. Technically, you could even say they're 3-1 because they should have beat the Giants until they fell off the face of the planet. So as for Sunday night game, Chiefs and Jets, I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm sorry. It's not because Taylor Swift. Zach Wilson just fucking sucks. I'm sorry. At this point, I think my mom in the wheelchair could do better. Jets at this point, I think they're going to either have to figure out to either get somebody in the draft or trade for somebody because Zach Wilson's not the answer. And if Aaron Rodgers is, even if he comes back next year, it's probably a 1-year deal. You have to be smart and you have to get ready for somebody, a new guy. And I don't think Zach Wilson's the answer. I'm sorry. Chiefs win on Sunday night. And then Monday night, Seahawks and Giants. I'm taking the Seahawks here. Giants still without the running back probably for another game or two. They didn't look that good against the 49ers. Excluding the Arizona game, to be honest, the Giants have not looked good. And remember, the Giants had to come back in the fourth quarter to win that game. So you can make the argument the Giants should be winless at this point. Sorry, Doc, but that's true. If it wasn't for that fourth quarter miracle comeback, you guys would probably be 0-3 at the moment. But those are my picks for this week. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree? Probably look for another video later today as I will be probably talking about the plus games for October once I see what they are. Till then, have a good day. Good luck to your teams this week in college and pro. And I'll see you all next time. Woo!